Greetings, my friends. This is Maerlande, and I'm going to start another mod showcase for another bit of Sombre's work. This one is the Empire mod, and you can see here on the screen I'm showing Sombre's basic description. I should turn on the nice pretty picture. Let's turn on the pretty picture. So I'm going to actually do Altdorf first. So let's take a look. So there's the pretty picture. That's some pretty nifty sights. Obviously there's a lot of stuff going on here. I don't know what any of it is yet. And there's no significant written description. So we're just going to try it out. Knowing Sombre, there's going to be some interesting mechanics. So let's go to the game. Move that out of the way. Actually, before we go to the game, let's take a quick look at the mod inspector for it. So you can see what we're looking at is I sorted by magic. There's other options. So you got some of these are summons, some of these are commanders you can buy, and then we got some really expensive ones. That's probably that great big gigantic sprite. 400 gold. I mean, there's more expensive in the game, but that's up there. And it looks like we've got a lot of fire, a little bit of astral, decent amount of earth, some stuff that sort of diversifies into nature, mostly with summons, a little bit of astral and death. So I think, rather than spend much more time on that, let us go to opening up a game. So we're going to do another simple starting game, and maybe we'll try a different map. Let's do one of the old kind of pretty maps. What about Pelaware? Haven't played on Pelaware for a while. It's not very big. It's one of the Pymus maps. I haven't seen Pymus active in a while. So it says 6 to 10 players with no more than one underwater nation. So I'll go on the smallish side of that. I'll go with, I don't know, maybe 8 players. So this is Warhammer Empire test. So right off the bat, let's do the standard. What are we gonna do to make this interesting? I'm not gonna do anything funky for the nations. I'll go for 8. Yeah, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I will pick Altdorf, seat of the Empire, and let's get started. So wow, I don't know what any of this is. So I guess I have to kind of work through all of it right off the bat. Empire is the largest and most powerful of lands of men in the old world. Okay. Leave you guys to read most of that, but I do need to read to see if there's any real indications here. They don't have, so it looks like they don't have large numbers. They don't have supernatural strength. They don't have savage resilience or uncanny agility. They rely upon faith, steel, and ingenuity. Well, that's split into many provinces. Oh, I see. The different provinces, I guess, would be the 3 different mods. So they are basically humans. They're military, medium and heavy infantry with extremely heavy cavalry. So that's probably these guys here. 23 protection. They're riding a griffin. Okay. But we'll look at them in a minute. Colleges allow access to all non-blood magic. Priests are strong, standard forts. So going across the top, we've got standard independent scouts. A pretty standard captain with spirit sight. Unsurroundable. My bad. He's kind of pretty. Broadsword. So he's more or less similar to an independent commander. Then we have, what's this? The general. Leadership 120, but no inspirational. That's pretty nice. He's a recruitment point 2. Okay, so you won't be buying very many. And then, now what is this? We should have looked at the... Does the general have anything in the description text that tells us about anything really funky? No. Just really high leadership, I think. But I don't know what these are. So these are mindless, inanimate. They cost 850 gold. Okay. So what are their 2 recruitment points? So what do they do? The knightly orders can crush almost any foe. They're independent. So you honor the order by building this memorial. So that's a statue. But then what happens? Oh, I remember this from years ago talking to Sombre. So this is a kind of a retinue. You buy this and you get a small army. I don't know how big. They're pledged to destroy Chaos Raiders. The hunters are expert woodsmen. Nature of the mission. Well. Okay. So, I think what happens here, so you've got, this one is the Hunters of Sigmar. This is the tribute to the Blazing Sun. It's even more expensive. I think we're just going to have to try these. Now what do we get? Basic priest. Okay. Oh, cheap. That's a cheap priest. And then what's this guy? A witch hunter. So a witch hunter is, it causes unrest. It's an inquisitor. So that lets you pump down enemy faith. Well, that's useful. He's a holy 2. Can self-bless. Halt demon and a righteous crossbow. They have no leadership, very high patrol skill. Wow, that's a lot of patrol. Let's look at that. 18 each. So if you need patrollers, that's your answer. But the causing unrest, so you're going to kill your people basically to get rid of the unrest. Alright. You could bless with them. So we've got another tribute. These are griffins. I guess not carrying a griffin, but anyways. So they're able to field some brothers mounted on demigriffs. Demigriffs. I'm thinking, looking down here, these are griffins without wings. So they're walking, not flying. That's my guess. And then the Reichsguard. So they gleam with light. Ah, that sounds like awe. And their charge is an awesome sight to behold. Well. Order Knight, Order Knight. I'm just sort of jumping down to the units here. Okay, next what we have. Warrior Priest. Combat Caster. An inspirational with a leadership of 40. Okay, so that would be a useful unit to lead sacreds if you're going to do a sacred play. And a Grey Wizard. So Air Mage, but he's also an assassin. And a little bit of useful cross-pass. Got Dark Power, Dark Vision, and is a spy. Huh. Okay. Cannot lead anything. But that's an air elemental assassin, potentially. Then what do we have? The Celestial Wizard. Adept Researcher. At that price, that works out well. And then possible for Air 2, which is very useful. Possibility for Astral 2. So you're going to want, I would think, quite a lot of those. And they have shock resistance. Okay. So that's useful. And then we work our Amethyst Wizard. Another fairly good researcher, not quite as good. Astral and Death. Okay. What's this guy? Amber Wizard. Ah, so you've got kind of a classic druid. No stealth. Got lots of movement assistance. Supply bonus, yes, okay. Animal awe and poison resistance. But no leadership. So is that a thug? Well, maybe. It might also be a battle mage. And then we have fire with Astral. Okay. Light Wizard. I think light means here the power of light, not Mirror of Hish. Oh, interesting. with a small area of effect. 30 ammunition, range of 100. Well, that would be a heck of an undead killer and a demon killer. So that's this guy. Then we have water nature with recuperation. Oh, that's healer, normal healer. Well. Okay, so they're all in that same kind of pricing. The gold wizard. Okay, they've got a forge bonus with fire and astral. Oh, and they can throw a bomb. Alchemist sort of bomb. The bright wizard, just plain old fire. A little bit cheaper. Okay, and a scholar. That's a pure researcher, philosopher, improved with sloth. So do we want to do a sloth build? I'm thinking we do. That was the scholar. Then we had the arc lector, holy 3 priest, old. Other than that, pretty straightforward. And last but not least, the war altar of Sigmar. I could see from the icon, looks like this guy comes with, yeah, he comes with a retinue of some flagellants. And it tramples. Map move of 16, combat move of 10. It's got recuperation, inspirational, dominion spreader. Should the arc lector be struck down in battle, the altar will remain, and a new arc lector will take the pulpit after the battle concludes. So you can fight with these guys, because if the rider gets killed, you still got the altar. Is the altar tough enough to do anything? I don't know. We'd have to look that up. So that kind of goes over the basic commanders. What do we have here? Well, that's typical flagellants. They don't look too different from any other flagellants. They do what they do. People who've played with flagellants know that they die very fast and they kill a lot. Berserking on discipline means there's not a whole heck of a lot you can do to make them better. State Spearman looks like a generic medium infantry. Good price. Pretty basic statistics. Nothing too fancy there. And then a State Halberdier. The castle defense bonus. Pretty high on resources, so if you go sloth, keep that in mind. A sloth build would be great for doing philosophers. Which ones were the philosophers? These guys, right? Yeah. Really cheap way to pump your research. And we work our way along to a fairly basic crossbowman. Absolutely fine. Reasonable price, normal pricing. So those will work. You're not going to want too much sloth. And then a basic archer. Well, I would probably go with the crossbows over the archer, but with a sloth build, the archers will do you better. And this is middle age. And then we've got, what have we got here? Chaos recruitment. Chaos recruitment. That's kind of odd. So I'm sort of thinking that you might be able to play a turmoil luck build with sloth and rush research and then do other things later. I haven't seen any of these. Only the flagellants are capital only. What's next? Little bit heftier swordsman, 14 protection. That's gonna be okay. What's this guy? And then a greatsword with, what have we got here? Bodyguard. Okay, but the resources are going up. And then a cavalry reminds me a little bit of Marvini cavalry. You've got a hand crossbow. Well, I'm not typically fond of ranged weapons on cavalry, but it's only got 2 ammunition. Can be used in melee. Pretty low damage, so it's not going to be a significant effect. Basically, you got a broadsword and a hoof on a cavalry, but no shield. However, 18 protection. Okay, and then we get to the heavier. The Order Knights. So I think how this works is you actually can just buy with gold these retinue statues, and you get some of these various knights. Which ones, I'm not entirely sure. Then we've got, so the first of the Order Knights was a broadsword and hoof. Okay, with 21 protection. That's going to be hard to kill. Good defense skill, reasonable attack, you know, more than average. And then we get the lance equivalent. So that's 3 attacks. This is the regular lance, so it's 1 shot. Does not repel. And then sort of the heavy duty ones. 23 protection, the Demigryph Talons, armor piercing. 2 attacks. So this is actually 3 attacks per round on size 3, so that's 6 per square. If the knight is slain, the Demigryph will fight on before taking off into the wild. You can only recruit a single Demigryph knight each month. Well. Now for sites, we've got air and earth, and of course, sites generally give you specific units. So that's the Reichsguard foot, only recruitable in the capital. Okay. The next, fire and astral, and next, that lets you get the scholar. Okay, I think we've done the overview. Let's continue with Warhammer. I ended up having a pause here, so I'm going to be stitching together the first part, which was the overview. Now I'm going to get into A, and I'm going to say A, possible pretender design. So, going with the overview, I'm strongly tempted to ignore sacreds and go with scales. So if I want to go scales, then I'm asking myself the question, is there a bless I want? Well, if I'm going to go scales and I have that huge selection of magi, I think what I want to do is I want to go with the mage bless. So cheapest, let's jump here to, what do we have? We've got the Baphomet with fire, astral, and blood. Well, blood doesn't fit well with the theme. But the Statue of War with fire and earth, that's sort of okay. 170 points, 170 points. We've got the Statue of Order with earth and astral. And then we have the Oracle. Well, quick like a bunny, this dormant makes for an excellent mage bless. So right off the bat, we'll go for a couple of reinvigorations. And we'll go for arcane finesse. And we could get a little more astral. I think we want to, just because this is a good pretender. Now I looked at those scholars and I thought, do I want to go with sloth? That would boost the research of the scholars, but does it send me in a crappy direction? There was also some advantage to going with turmoil. So we're going to try to pick, there, that gets us 16 points over 240. That's kind of maxed out. I think I want to go magic scale. I don't really want to play with temperature unless I need to. It's a place to get some points. I think we want lots of gold and recruitment points. So, you know, this is setting us up into the sort of magic zone of let's get lots of money. And a bless that sets us up. We got a little more bless points. So we get, we don't particularly need arcane command, so let's drop this 1. That's 1 more scale, so that's good. And let's go with a little magic resistance, never hurts. So we've got a spare scale. So we could go with a little bit of temperature scale, pump up either luck or growth, or perhaps a little bit more production. I'm going to go something very, very simple. I'm going to go production. I'm going to ignore the whole business of the boost to these scholars, and I'm just going to go with magic scales. So I like this. I think it's simple. I think it works. Demachos, sure, good enough. Alright, and then game set up the last tidbits. I'm going to go with some events just because it's interesting. I'm going to leave score graphs on, and as it's just a test, I'm going to not bother doing throne setups. Oh, and I should do renaming. I don't need a master password. Yeah, everything else is basic. Let's have a start. See where we end up. I did do a few turns and then I accidentally turned my mic off, so I had to pause and reset and start fresh. I'm not archiving these turns just because it would take time, and I don't think it's terribly important. I can always repeat things. So right off the bat, which of the Magi do I want to go with first? Well, I'm thinking this is an excellent start to get point buffers, and these guys are an excellent start. And of course I want to try out these statues and see what we get. So let's just start off. Now the scholars now are 13. They're not going to get their philosopher bonus. So 13 versus here we're sitting at 16 plus. They've got the adept plus they've got the magic scales. So let's grab a fire astral mage right off the bat. We've got enough resources to get our single demigriff each turn, and then let's add some archers to fill out that starting army. And then we'll set this guy to profit. Now what have we got? We're sitting in a nice farmland. We've got plains, 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 plains. So we're not going to be pumping up our resources super quickly. There's not a lot here to look at, so don't really need a probe. We'll send the scout over here to the east and start with that. Recruitment's finished. We've got a little bit of spare gold. Alrighty, let's see what develops. Turn 1. Woohoo! Well that looks like our easiest target with malicious heavy infantries and light infantries. And is this guy going to do us anything if sent out by himself at size 3? I think I want to wait for 2. So I'm going to skip him, put together an army. This is a prophet, so let's bless. I suppose we could just go with plain blessing. Saves a little bit of fatigue. What are we looking at here? No fatigue versus no fatigue. Well, there's no reason to bother. I forgot about that. So leave that alone. And then we'll toss in some smites. Word of power is the Earth Astral Smite, or Earth, whichever. I'm not an expert on those. And then the formation. It's not really enough to, let's put all these guys together and go with the line. And bring the archers. Actually, maybe we'll have them hold. Let whatever's coming at us sort of break its formations a bit. These guys can just be on fire. Okay, let's give it a shot, see if we can take some militia. We're sending our scout to look for bad guys. And back at home, so we got one of these Astral Magi, and we'll set up the research. So we're actually looking towards trying to do some point buffing. This guy is a moss body potential, so let's grab one of those. And we are good to go. I think not too far from now, we're going to be wanting to buy one of these generals to help lead our demigriffs. Anything else? N key? No, everybody's moved. Let's hit host. Battle in Valgard. And that worked. A little bit of attrition. So can we push forward? This one is heavy infantries and militias. This one, this one, this one. I could probably deal with the Ictiids. So I think what I want to do here is just do a simple 1 PD. Let's see what we've got available. I do want to have the odd independent commander around. Do I want to recruit a few of these free infantrymen, the foreign recruits? I think so. It's useful. We'll change that up after this turn. Send the prophet back. So I think now what I'm going to do is I'm going to head towards the Ictiids and then see which direction I can expand from there best next. There's some more resources, so let's replace some of the front line that was lost. Drop one archer. And go with that. Alright, I'm happy. Host. 2 battle afflictions were cured. Haha, that's... Oh, I got a hero. Oh my, look at that guy. So he arguably could run around and lead. No, he can't. He can't lead anybody. Well, he might as well research. So what's our research at? 76 points. Well, research rush is becoming a serious potential here. Okay, let's put together all of the army we can. So I'm thinking 5 of these demigriffs could be the magic number. And this guy's just going to do simple archers with troops, and he's full. Okay, good. Let's see if we can take out some Ictiads. Now I think I want a general. So that I have to slow down on some of my recruitment. I'm getting more attrition on the front line than I am on the archers. So we'll do that for the time being. This independent commander can come up here. He might be able to help with bringing along a few extra troops. My scout, oh, we found somebody. So it'd be nice to push towards some choke points, but I have to kind of work kind of simplistically. And I'm building up some gold reserves, although I am spending a good amount. Battle in Zenthria. Okay, so the spearman attrition is reasonably high, but that was, I guess, satisfactory. A little touch and go. Buy a little PD here. Do I want to go in the water? Oh, not against that. And I don't want to spend gold on amphibious troops at this point in time. Oh, I did buy a second one of these. It wasn't quite what I had in mind. So I'm going to start making scouts here. And what do I have here? I could make more of these. Yeah, I'll make more of these cheapo guys. So I have the potential to try something kind of funky and try just some cavalry, see how they do. Or I could wait a little bit. So I'm still not sure. Yeah, see, 5 of these guys. They're size 3, so the magic number is kind of 6. Or go with 5, because this guy's a size 3 and a single one on guard commander. So we'll wait a bit. We'll have that guy wait. This guy, this guy can wait 1 turn. This independent commander can wait 1 turn. Let's change up our recruitment. Now what do we want? Do we need nature? Not yet. Do we need death? Good for searching, but not point buffing. Maybe we'll get a celestial wizard. Sure. And let's fill that front line out. Actually, take 2 of those and add a couple more archers. So we got some ideas here. Nothing too magic. That guy can wait. And this guy... Oh, who is this? I need to look at the Pretenders of the World. Is that Is? I'm thinking that's Is. So Is must have started... There we are. That's where he started. So I kind of want to watch and see if I can find what he's fighting. This is going to be more than a little bit of a challenge. Alright, that's the last guy left. Let's do a host. Good. Oh, foresaw a great disaster. That's useful. So I'm at alteration 2 already. So I could potentially do things like Moss Body and Body Ethereal. Moss Body and Luck coming up very soon. Which of these magic do I want to try? Let's see, what's this guy? Pure Fire, a little bit cheaper. Not so great for the research. That guy's the priest. We're not really going to spend a lot of time on that. The initiates are the inquisitors. So I think I'm going to jump back to these guys. And we'll go with that. Do we have enough of an army to move on to the next phase? I think we do. So we set these guys up front in a line. Put them on hold. And we now have 5. So let's put 1 on guard commander. This guy on the flank. Quite a ways back on hold. Attack rear. Keep the troops right with them. Again on hold and attack rear. We're going to send these 2 squads together. It's kind of an odd choice, but I think it's the right choice. So I know that's a little bit overkill and a little bit conservative, but I don't know these troops. And I do want to put a crimp into S. So let's take these guys this way. Now this guy is going to grab these handful, put them on hold ×5, stay behind troops. And you know, I'm going to send them along to assist what's going on here. Question is, where do I want these guys? I want these guys flanking on this side and hold an attack. Hold an attack closest. Hold an attack closest. Alright, let's see how this turns out. We've got nobody over here at the moment, and we do have a handful, just 2. We can wait. We can wait for that. And now if we switch to scouts, we switch to scouts. Okay. Anybody else? We've got a scout here. Well, let's see what Is is doing down this direction. I'm just going to have that guy wait and see if he can see what Is is fighting with. And we run it through. Excellent. So, that went well. Oh, okay. I kind of like that. The free infantrymen did their job. We should maybe watch that. Just see how my script went. So everybody's kind of holding. The archers are basically staying behind the line, which is useful. They're getting a few hits. Nothing too amazing. I think we can speed it up. Okay, here comes those free infantrymen. So the spearmen hit first and take the initial off the militias, and they chop up those militias pretty quick. Oh, I see. This guy, so he's got a combat speed of 18. How quick are these guys? Well, I don't know why he's behind a bit, but that's not a bad thing. And they're going to get the commanders and finish off this fight for me. And they chopped everything up. Okay, good. I think that army is in adequate condition. What did I have for an event? The Voice of Sigmar. And he's got a retinue of flagellants. Oh, good grief. Well, I don't know what the heck I'm going to do with that. So this guy is an Inquisitor. Does he cause unrest? He's got Reinvigoration. He's inspirational. Dominion Spreader. He does not cause unrest. He's a halt. Oh, halt heretic. Okay, that's kind of awe against. He's got a maul. A maul on a cavalryman. It's not a bad thug. Although he's significantly more useful as a Holy 3. And how many flagellants did he come along with? 11. That's not going to add up to a hill of beans. We'll just leave those guys behind. Do we want to bring him along? Well, we haven't really got anywhere. So this army's in adequate condition. It can keep pushing. The independent commander can head this way. These two guys have got militias, archers, and heavies. Jade Amazons, and Jade Maidens, or Horse Tribe. I'm going to push to put limits on Is. Buy a little bit of PD. What have we got here to purchase? So I'm going to turn off buying these guys for a little while. Send this scout to my west. How many do I have here? 4. I'm actually going to turn them off too. I'll send that independent commander over here. Research is looking superb. Very superb. Alrighty. And given... I think I get a little more utility out of the potential of these guys. So I wouldn't mind some Air 2 showing up fairly quickly. And what did I lose most of? Front line? Front line. So the free infantrymen do help kill, but the function here is basically that we're having those crazy demigriffs get into the background. So given its front line, I'm mostly losing to buy a little bit of everything else. I am trying to get up to the point where I have the gold to buy one of these statues. For that, I would probably have to give up buying everything else. This guy, I think we'll just have preach. Let's turn on candles for a minute. Score graphs. Not score graphs. wanted map filters, I wanted the candles on. Maybe I'll turn the income box on. Income's pretty basic. Alrighty, is anybody not doing anything? A scout is not doing anything. Let's do a host. Bum, ba-da-dum, bum, bum. See, sound effects. That's what happens when I host. A new famous hero. Nice. What did he get? He got extra agility, increased attack and defense. Wowzer, that's pretty good. And this battle was again attrition for the front line. Otherwise, it worked exceptionally well. And do we have anything terribly interesting to buy here? I don't. Those Jade Amazons dropped down. I think I can take them. No, I'm going to put a crimp on Is. He's just here to grab this bunch. Bring them back to the capital and then put together another possible army. So, the champion of the Emperor, Broadsword of Justice. He's a little bit thuggy, but mostly he's a commander. A decent commander, nothing too amazing. You can just wait. So we're probably getting close. I think we're probably not going to get a lot more candles out of the Holy Three preaching, but... So how much gold do I have left? Can I get enough gold? Oh, look at that magic number. Let's just try the first of these and see what we get. So that leaves us enough for a couple more infantrymen. So I'm really burning with curiosity what I get here. So under the assumption... Oh, and he came along with a whole bunch of swordsmen. Well, isn't that nice? So given that he showed up with that, we actually, I think, maybe it's time to start with some crossbows. And those basic crossbows. 19 resources versus... Well, I don't have a lot of resources this turn because I'm trying for one of these statues. And what else we got? We're still trying to get the limits on the Is. So let's head this way and keep an eye on Is. This guy was just heading here to collect whatever's there. Send him back to the capital. And that's a pretty solid army in the capital. And we have lots of places to head out. Wait one more turn? I think we are going to wait one more turn, collect those other tidbits. Right, another scout. See who we're going to find. And it's hosting time. This is what I really want to see. I want to see one of these kind of retinues. Got another famous hero. Who the heck's this? My prophet got a heroic. And what did he get? Toughness, more hit points. Well, that's pretty good on a prophet. Never hurts. And that battle was cheap. More than adequate. That army is going to start taking damage. So Is just came out with pikeneers. Now, what happened here with... So this is the guy. Here we are. He's a Grand Master of the Sigmar's Hunters. And what did he come with? That's... Okay. So this is what we got. So these are Protection 17, Kite-Shoot Axe, and a Hoof. Aren't they interesting? They should be able to expand basically on their own. That was an interesting result. So let's stick all these. I'm going to leave the few demis behind. These guys are, let's see, combat speed 7, and these guys are combat speed 10. And he can't really handle, he doesn't do formations, so that's about all he can do. We'll have them stay behind, put them on fire, put them on, just do their thing. Now this guy, even though he's a little bit thuggy, Acts of Hate. Well, the potential later on to thug with him is pretty interesting. So should I send them with the other bunch, or should I split those two armies? Well, I haven't got anywhere to split them. So let's take this army and this. Plus, we forgot, we have a few of the cheapo boys. Let's put them up in the top there and see where they would go best. So he's got 1 of 3. Oh, well, then he should be leading this mob. And also the archers. These guys can be on hold, attack, rear. How fast are they? They are 20. So these guys we want in a line, and we want them on hold and attack now. It's not really enough. So we've got a few extras of these happy little gaffers. Put them on the other flank, on hold and attack closest. No, we'll have them attempt to rear move there a little bit faster. Yes, they are. Okay, I think I'm satisfied. Do I want to save another army for later? Not really. But I will send 2 commanders so I can split these and these guys for the time being. That's not enough. I'll wait for 5. Okay, off they go. And that guy can wait. So we've got another scout. Send him down this way. And this scout, let's send him down this way. Who else is waiting? So we're still watching over what Is going to do. I don't have anything to do with that independent commander at the moment. I am buying another one of those guys. Do I want to? No, I don't. I want to wait up and try one of these other ones, so I need to save a little gold. But I do want Magi. So I'm going to grab a Celestial Wizard. What have I got so far? I got 1 Air, 2 Celestial Wizard. I got 1 Air Astral. I could start site searching. It's looking like I'm not even going to need point buffing. It's kind of crazy. Alright. Bum, 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 bum. I could mix up the Magi. Let's grab a Death Mage. Change things up a bit. So it's front line that I'm tending to lose. Now cost effectively 12 for 23 with broadsword, so they're going to hold up significantly better. And I think I'm done with archers, so let's... Don't really need great swords. I don't really need heavy cavalry at the moment. So I'm going to buy a mix. Just kind of mix and match to put together another expansion army. And this bunch. So do I go fight Is, or do I make an attempt on this farm? I think I make an attempt on this farm. I think I just need to make that attempt. There's some chance this is going to go bad, so I'm going to put those guys farther forward. That should give the archers a little more opportunity. There's nothing too special here, so let's give it a try. And after this army will probably have to pull back. Alrighty, am I happy? Am I happy? Ah! And who's this? Let's check the statistics. Pretenders of the world. Arkle. Okay, good. So, is that Arkle's capital? Well, let's find out. It's kind of looking like it is. It's got a temple in it. And do we want to make forts yet? I don't think so. We're expanding. Okay, nothing too special. Let's host. And how did it go? Umidor. Well, I lost the free infantry one, but that's not really relevant to anything. Kind of knew that was likely to happen. Over here in Umidor. Sorry, I think I'm looking at the same 2 places. So that was Umidor. This one was over here. And this army, well, it hasn't run out of steam. Do I want to pick a fight? I don't. So I could do... start pulling back. Or I could try to take the horse tribes. I think I'm better off to try to take the horse tribes. I mean, so the archers all die, so what? That's life. I'm going to move the prophet just behind the archers, just in case they rout. Now here, I've got multiple directions to go, and I in effect have 2 possible armies. I think these can be split. This guy needs to go back over here. Put a couple of these guys, they are size 3, and he's size 3. And does he fight? Well, he fights pretty darn good. Okay, put 3 of them on guard commander. put him on hold ×2 and attack. Put them in the center, just draw everything to them. I'm going to put these guys on hold attack rear. You can't put them in a line formation. And the other, so I'm going to split these two armies. I know it's a little on the risky side, but this is just militias. And this, it's not that risky. Whoops, come on. Go different directions, you guys. Good grief. What have I got at home? Got some troops that could start moving forward. I have quite a lot of gold, so let's buy another one of these retinues. So 1,200, what can I afford? Let's try the Blazing Suns. Let's just see what they get to. And I'm going to keep using the simple mix of crossbows and swordsmen. I'll go with that. I will go with. Alright. Next is another scout. Well, we'll have them look at this in a little more detail. So Arco is failing miserably. Holy cow, he's got nothing. We'll just leave that guy to watch over Arco. The scout head him down same direction. And this scout head him towards this. Alright, let's have another turn. Did I spend all my resources? Close enough. Three battles, alteration. I have reached alteration 4. Oh, I forgot to update that. So, I've got so many kinds of magic. Let's get some conjuration 1 and some thaumaturgy 1 so we can, if we want, do communions. What happened here? I lost some archers, and other than that, I took them out. Easy peasy. So these inner circles, I wanted to see how this went. Let's take a look at these guys. So the idea was hold them back, let his formations break up. And here they go. Here they go. And they're running right for the rear. Haha, isn't that funny? So they got split up a little bit, but they did the job. They did the job just peachy. Next thing to have a look at is, did many of them get wounded? 2. Well, perfectly livable. So I'm happy with that result. Let's send them this way. And these guys, isn't that funny? I split these commanders up in a funny way, but I think this front line, it was more important that I had the extra morale and the line formation. So let's close up our terrain a little bit, make it a little more efficient. Now, what did I get at home here? So they have fire resist, protection 21, a morning star, and a lance. Defense skill at 12. That's not very much defense skill. Fair bit of encumbrance. What's their commander like? Let's check out this guy. Blazing Lance of Myrmidon. Is it Myrmidon? Myrmidia. Wow. Armor piercing. Area of effect 5? Only can be used once. Holy crap. He's a heretic. We don't really want him to sit around at home. Well, son of a gun. Okay, this is a lot of cool, interesting stuff. Expansion has gone fine. A little bit on the careful side. Got a whole bunch of potential to start doing some very interesting site searching. Quite efficient site searching. I'm at a point where I'm going to stop. Let's have a look at the map statistics. So Arco has stunk. Well, maybe not so bad. Who's doing well here? Red. That's me. Okay. Blue, 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 blue. I'm thinking Is. No, Is didn't do very well at all. Sort of adequately. So this is Ind? Naba. So Naba did all right. So I am well in advance of the rest. But forts. Somebody made one more fort. Income, I've got a significant advantage. Gem income, well, I haven't searched at all. Research, whoa, that looks good. Dominion, I'm doing fine. And army size, see, some of them have taken some hits, some have not. I think that's a great place to stop. and stitch together a video. It won't quite be an hour, but I think we've covered, it's a good stopping place. And I'm going to take a archive of the turn. So I'm going to save and quit. And if there's any questions, you know where to find me. All right, have a great day.